Hello pilots and ground crew, welcome back to my channel. Well, I'm in the process of a new build at the moment, and I'm putting a lot of decent components in it, and GPS, and I've got the Cadex Tarsier V2 4K HD camera and stuff, but I wanted a really good VTX to go in. So I picked up the most powerful VTX you can buy at the moment, and it's the Tbs Unify Pro 32 HD, and it's a beast. It is absolutely powerful as hell, basically. It's only small, it's not that big. I'll just compare it. Look, there's 50p and there's 20p. I was going to do the actual measurements, but then some people get confused with it, but it's just to give you an idea how big it is. A 50p piece next to it, and a 20p piece next to it. It's not big, it's sort of like an average size of a VTX, shall we say. It's tiny, but it's got some major power. But because I want to do this quick, because I'm trying to get this into my new build, what you need to do is plug it into your Agent X, which is a firmware software changing component you get from TBS. Let me just zoom out a bit, going out of focus there. And it's quite straightforward, it's on TBS website. It's called Agent X, and we'll jump over to that now and I'll tell you more about it basically. But it's very simple to set up. It's MMCX connector. You get a couple of connectors with it. You get all the wiring you need. You've got smart audio, you've got everything. I'll put a little picture up of the wiring diagram so you know how to wire it up, because I wanted, like I said, I wanted to do this video pretty quick. But like I said, it's the most powerful VTX you can buy at the moment. So let's jump over to the computer and I'll show you on Agent X how to do the firmware update, just in case you don't know, and show you the power outputs, which will astound you. Okay then, jump over to the computer. Right then, so we're on TBS Agent X, right? Just in case you don't know how to get this, right, go onto TBS website, right, and basically look up Agent X, download the latest version, right, and you're off. It really is that simple, it's not difficult. And it's so you can update and mess about and change settings on your TBS stuff, basically, right, and do firmware updates. Right, so I've already done this, but I thought I'd show you. So that's why here the Unified Pro 32 HV is already showing up, right, on this sort of, shall we say, my personal home screen. Right, yours will be different, but that won't show up on yours until you've plugged in your VTX for the first time. But I'm just about to plug in my VTX now, which I have. And if you notice, it's jumped to, shall we say, the first column. There's a little green light on it telling me I've got that particular device plugged in. Right, so let's go to Manager. And the very first thing you would want to do, which once again I already have, is go to your firmware. Alright, I've got the current version, but you would click refresh. Well, it wouldn't say refresh, it'd probably say, I can't remember now, I think it just says update or something. And then down here you'd click update and it'd go through them steps, right? And it takes about 15 seconds, it doesn't take long, right? And it'll just give you your latest version of the firmware. Okay, that's straightforward and simple. Whoops, we've come out, go back to Manager. I went the wrong way then. Configurations, we've done the firmware, now configurations. General, right, we've got up here, data port. You got three options. You got off, crossfire, smart audio. I don't know why I can't think of any scenario where you'd use off, as in have the information turned off, but it's there. The crossfire represents if you've got a crossfire module and you're going to do well, the information through a crossfire module, right, which you have plugged into the back of your transmitter, which I don't, right, because I'm using the Tango 2. But I would always be using smart audio anyhow, because I'm going to have smart audio on my setup, right, which you can also change in Betaflight. Microphone speaks for itself, on or off. I always have the microphone off, I don't see the point. VTX, right, is your bands, your channel, and if you're interested, yes, it does have race band. Right, I've just left it on band A channel 1, right, for now, because I always leave all my VTXs on that for when I'm doing my checks, when I'm setting everything up. Right, it's the simplest one just to do, because I've got a little monitor and that's set to band A channel 1, so I plug everything into the monitor to check it. You know what I mean. Right, the power outputs, legally in the UK, that's your maximum, 25 milliwatts. Right, however, this will go to 100, 400 and insanely 1000 milliwatts, which is 1 watt. However, there's a little plus sign next to that, and it's there for a bloody reason, because this is almost 2 watts, which is like almost 2000 milliwatts, which is fucking insane. Right, you will get a huge, you'll go for miles, you'll travel around the bleeding world with that. It would be very handy if you travel around the world, fuck me. If you was in like a bando with loads of solid brick walls, you'd be able to penetrate through them and stuff like that. But there is something very important you need to know. None of these, 1, 4 or 1000, will work until you unlock the system. Alright, now it's really simple to unlock. I was going to do a video showing you, but it's quite simple. That there's a button. You press the button once to get into like changing from band A to what, you know what I mean, whatever you want to change in that sense. You press it again to get into your channels, and then the little yellow light flashing twice, and then you hold the button down for about 20-25 seconds. Both lights will come on and it's unlocked. It's that simple. And then you can come back here to your power settings and do whatever you want. Right, down here, temperature. Right then, what is this? Basically, you're telling the VTX how hot it's allowed to get before it'll basically shut off. Or I don't think it shuts off, I think it reduces to the minimum. So let's say you've got it on 400 milliwatts and it reaches 105 temperature. I'm assuming that's Fahrenheit, but 105, then it'll drop to 25 milliwatts. So if you're a long way away, you know what I mean, if you're going long range, you want to leave that on 105. In fact, I would just put this on 105 and not think twice about it. Leave it on the maximum temperature, because you don't want that cutting off. You don't want it sort of like on 60 degrees and you're flying and it cuts off, jumps back down to 25 milliwatts. You see you've got it on 400 milliwatts and it jumps to 25 milliwatts. You lose video signal and you're screwed. So just leave it on the maximum. I don't really know why that's there, because everybody's going to leave it on the bloody maximum, I reckon. Down at the bottom, PitMode, on or off, right? For obvious reasons. If you're flying with a load of people, especially if you're racing, right, you want it in PitMode before you set up, but I won't be. Lone wolf, that's me, I fly alone. Channel mapping brings you straight back to PitMode. Okay, don't ask me why. And about is just the information, and there you go. It's not difficult, it's not complicated, it's very straightforward. And I believe I've covered everything there. And just before, yes, I'm just double checking, making sure I've got the settings I want for when I do that, because I ain't even tested it yet. Right, so yeah, so it really is that simple, not complicated, nothing to worry about, and it's straightforward. Okay then, pilots and ground crew, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for watching and cheers.